How many of you have watched the local news or read it online or in the newspaper? You often will hear stories about a couple dying in a car crash or an officer shot during a domestic dispute. But what you often don't hear about is the kids behind those stories. And that's why United Way funding is so important to my agency of Kids Voice of Indiana. Through United Way funding, Kids Voice of Indiana is able to help children like that behind those stories. And we do that by focusing our goal on keeping kids out of the system and matching with the United Way goal of putting Central Indiana residents on a path to self-sufficiency. United Way focuses on 4 goals: health, income, education, and basic needs. At Kids Voice of Indiana, we have 3 programs, and one of those is Supervised Visitation Program, where children are able to come to our agency and visit their parents in a safe environment. Our other program is the Children's Law Center of Indiana, where everyday people, attorneys, judges can call in or refer to our website to help with navigating the legal system with dealing with family law issues or children. And then we also have our Guardian Ad Litem program. And in that program, we assign a volunteer who works with the Kids Voice attorney to represent the best interests of a children in a court case. We deal with divorce cases, guardianship cases, adoption, and paternity cases. And they're often involving children that have been abused or neglected or also are at risk of that occurring or endangered in their current placement. We do so by going out to the homes, interviewing the children, interviewing the families. We also interview counselors, teachers, etc., to find out what's really going on in that children's situation. And then we put all of that info into a report and we submit it to the court. And then the court is able to make a better informed decision on the best custody and living situation for that child. We want to make sure that that child's basic needs are met by living in a safe and stable home. I want to tell you about one child that we have worked with. Her name is Molly. Molly was 2 years old when her father passed away. Then when she was 4 years old, her mother was murdered in their home while Molly was there. So Molly was now left without parents, and she went to live with her paternal grandpa. Well, he wasn't fully equipped to take care of Molly. And Molly was struggling a little bit. She wasn't doing very well in school. She was acting out based on emotional trauma that she had suffered. And so maternal grandparents came in and asked for custody, which ensued a battle between the sides of the family. So the court asked us to come in and evaluate Molly's situation and where would be best for her. And after the evaluation that we did, we recommended to the court that Molly actually have support from both sides of her family. We also recommended some counseling and some activities that would help Molly get involved with her community. Now Molly is doing very well. She has improved in school through tutoring. She's receiving grief counseling, and she's also involved in Girl Scouts. And she's also able to have that connection with her mother's family and her father's family, since they have passed away. Another story I really like to talk to you about today is Trevor. Trevor is a 13-year-old boy that I actually had the luxury of serving as his volunteer and his voice in court. His mother suffered with substance abuse issues, and she went to prison. He went to then live with a family friend who adopted him. The family friend decided that she could not take care of Trevor anymore. He was just too much to handle. So he went to live with another family friend who became his guardian. 3 years later, when Trevor was 13, the family friend also said that I cannot care for him any longer either. So Trevor was stuck with nowhere to go and no one able to care for him. That's when the court called in Kids Voice and asked us to help find out where would be the best placement for Trevor. So we started doing a lot of searching. We started with family. We even called the school and talked to a lot of his teachers, and we were able to actually find a family that knew Trevor through school that was really interested in taking guardianship for him and caring for him. And now Trevor is starting the 8th grade this year. He also is playing football and doing very well in his current placement. Kids Voice, really cannot do those things without United Way funding. And that's why for us, United Way is very important. And Kids Voice shares the goal of making sure that kids' basic needs are met. And that's one of United Way's priorities. We also want to make sure that we're doing our best to keep kids out of the system, out of being a ward of the state, out of foster care. Not only saving the state money, but also making sure that those families are together and being self-sufficient, and those child is in a safe and stable home. So today I ask you to donate to United Way. You can also volunteer with United Way. There's several opportunities. And I donate myself because I think United Way is such a wonderful organization. They have 91 agencies that come together and serve all different areas of our community with health, education, income, and basic needs. So thank you very much for letting me come share this with you today, and I hope that you will donate or volunteer for United Way.